I have to sit really close to you just because it's a little camera.
Okay.
Not trying to brush up on you or nothing. Hey, this is Addie Willoughby hanging out in Motown. All right, so it's Morristown, New Jersey, but hanging out here with my friend Brian Smith, defensive quality control coach for the Jets. So we're going to talk a little bit about football, but first, just got to catch up with my friend. So, Brian, going back to some of the very, very early conversations that we had, you know, I have to admit that I was surprised and really, really impressed about just your humility about it all, about your journey from playing football to coaching football. Tell me, what was the most difficult thing about making that player to coach transition?
I'd probably say the most difficult thing was just getting to the mind frame that I'm a coach and not a player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a player sometimes, you know, you're doing what you're told, whereas a coach, you're telling the guys what to do. The relationship is totally different with the teammates. You have to take more of a authority perspective. The main thing for me, I coached at the place that I played, so it was a little bit weird to transition. Just working with players that were so close to my age.
Right.
That was probably the hardest thing.
Right. So you went back to UMass and coached there for 3 years, right?
Yeah, I was there for 3 years.
Okay. And now you've been with the Jets. This is your third year with the Jets, right?
Yeah, this will be my third season coming up.
That's awesome. And you're 29.
29.
Okay. I'm not 29 and still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So that alone in itself is a major feat. You know, during the off season, there's always a lot of personnel changes. And I take a look at your roster, and there's 13 new names on that coaching staff.
Right.
Brian Smith is still there. You know, with that being said, with Eric Mangini out and Rex Ryan in, did you have any anxiety about your job security?
I definitely had a lot of anxiety about my job security. But, I mean, that's coaching, that's the business. When you get into it, you realize there's going to be changes every year. If you don't win enough games, you know, your job is going to be on the line. So I definitely was worried about that. And but I'm just happy to be on. You know, Rex kept me on. I'm grateful, and looking forward to some great things this year.
Very good. So what was it about Brian Smith that convinced Rex Ryan that he should be retained?
I guess I got a few recommendations from some people that were already there. We sat down and talked, and he was gracious enough, for whatever reason, decided to keep me on.
Hey, you don't need a reason. You know what? You're on, right?
I'm on, you know. I'm not complaining at all.
Okay. So under Eric Mangini's direction, you worked on offense.
Right.
Now you're working and studying under the defensive genius of Rex Ryan. Has that been a difficult transition?
No, it hasn't been difficult at all. I actually played in college. I played on defense. So I'm a defensive-minded player. I've been trying to get back on the defensive side of the ball, you know, since I switched over to offense. So I'm happy to be where I'm at right now, learning from a great staff. You know, a lot of those guys have been together already, and they already have a continuity. So for me, I'm just, you know, tagging along, trying to learn as much as I can.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now I know you want to be a head coach someday.
Right.
So has that, you know, coaching on both sides of the ball, how has that help you prepare for that?
Well, it's been great, you know, getting both perspectives of it. You know, a lot of defensive coaches have never coached offense, so I feel like it gives me a little bit of an advantage knowing, you know, how an offensive coach thinks and how they like to attack certain situations. So I think in the long run, you know, eventually, hopefully, I'll be a defensive coordinator, and you know, it'll definitely help me more so in the game planning aspect.
Okay.
So.
And you know, as you think about when you get there, because I know you're going to get there. You're focused, you're driven, the tenacity, you're going to get there, no doubt. Who do you think of as somebody you would want to pattern your coaching style after?
I don't know if I necessarily want to pattern my coaching style after anybody. I definitely have had a lot of influences over the years growing up, but I think in order to be a successful coach, you have to kind of be yourself. And I think I take the things that I've learned from guys like Coach